Wow, have I got something different for you today? Wow. Something completely outside the box. Edward Jr., Edward Molineaux, an ultra runner, 2 times world record. He broke his own world record at running. Obviously, looking at me, I don't do a lot of running. We want to push. I want you to see this. I want you to enjoy it. I want you to comment. I want you to subscribe. We are going to push Edward's career as far as we can and bring him as much help as we can with, if you know somebody that can supply anything to him or get him involved or whatever, bring him forward. Now, do you know a world record beater? Wow, the very best of the best of the best? Not many of us do we? So it's an in-depth, stupid Reggie interview. I've probably asked all the wrong questions. It was absolutely fascinating. Absolutely, you need to watch all the way through it and see the the build up, and oh wow, I was completely blown away. I didn't really know what to do. I didn't know what to expect. I've just sat there, asked the questions, got the answers, and pass it on to you. And we need to get Ed to the next step, whatever the next step is, however the next step, whatever's around the corner. What will happen will happen. And that we've given him a little nudge, a little helping hand on the way, would make you feel a bit better, wouldn't it? But he's not only a world record holder, but he beat his own world record at ultra running. And the numbers are mind-boggling. The mileage and the numbers and the hours are just, to me, as a complete, looking from the outside in, is mind-blowing. So, first of all, I hope this entertains you. But yeah, get out there, get it shared. Let's see how much help we can give to this to this ultra marathon runner, half marathon runner, world record. The best of the best of the best. If we can give things a bit of a nudge on the old YouTube. This is his very first appearance on. He's been in the newspaper, he's had a few interviews, but his first YouTube thing, and we will be the next events. He's my new best friend. He's my new best friend, and when he goes to the next event, we'll be there. You and me will be there from the beginning to the end. Obviously, if he's doing 100 miles, we'll set him off and then we'll come home, we'll have a rest. And when he gets to 50 miles, we'll go and find him and we'll give him an interview. And then we'll go and catch him 10 miles before the end when he's done 90 miles. And then we'll catch him at the end when he's done his 100 miles, see how he feels. And, we're going to get real close to Ed now. And we're going to ask. So send me any questions and I shall pass them on. And we'll progress his social media type, on we need to help him along, and that's what we're going to do. So have a watch and see what you think. And by the way, I forgot to mention there is a separate film to this because it's different equipment, the 360. So I have taken a film of a short film of Ed running with the 360. I had it dangling out the end of the car and we took a run, so enjoy that. I'd like to introduce you to Edward Molineaux Jr., a world record, a double world record holder.
Yeah.
You beat your own record at running, marathon running?
Yeah, half marathons and ultras.
And ultras.
Yeah.
Wow, what a... Now, this is a little bit step out for our channel, so I won't be asking a professional, but I've never actually spoken to a world record holder. I've never, been close and asked a load of you might say, dumb questions. So we're going to begin.
Yeah.
So we're going to start this little interview now. We'd like to get Edward's name out there. Edward Jr. Molineaux, we need to get his name out there and see what it produces, you know what I mean? This is the first time for you to, the first year for you to really think about publicising, and bringing your career, changing up a gear on the future. After all of the hard work and all the medals that I've took the pictures of, and so we're going to try and split this this interview into. We'll start in the head, so we'll talk about your mental attitude, how you've had to thoughts. We'll start how you got here, and we'll talk about a few questions in your head, and then obviously part of doing what you do for eating and your diet is a really, really important part of what you do and thinking towards it. And then we're going to end up on the feet, because without the feet you wouldn't get anywhere. And the maintenance and the looking after the feet, and what it takes to be. I've never ever spoken to a world record holder and a double world record holder.
I appreciate you saying that.
It's a hell of an achievement. You are the world's best, the best of the best. You're Top Gun, aren't you?
Yeah, top. Yeah.
Yeah, the best of the best.
In my own unique way.
Obviously, and what can be done, and the human body is amazing. So we're going to try and begin in the beginning.
Yeah.
So what did you do to get you into the running scene? What did you do first? What was the first sports thing that you thought about, and how old were you?
I started off with wushu, then I was about 16, and I met Faye. I wagged a lesson from school to meet Faye, and I did a Tai Chi class, and I was trying to find a place to get to China, and it was happening, and I accidentally met her at an old community centre in Friar Park, and I started joining in with the Tai Chi, and she had her kids with her. She asked me to come to Wolverhampton, and then I started doing all the wushu with the swords and that. And about a year after, I went to China, went to the Wudang Mountains, trying with the monks and with the Taoist monks in the mountains and that. Wow. And that's where it all began. Got my flexibility deeper. And that's where started my discipline and my fitness and my flexibility and everything started.
Wow.
And then I drifted off from that, and then I went into tricking, and I met some free runners, the ones who jump buildings in Warsaw.
Oh yeah.
And we started to go to a gymnastics centre in Warsaw, and and eventually we all connected as a group. Started to go to Birmingham University. We used gymnastics floor, and that's where I started getting really, really explosiveness in my body and my
and
physique.
Beginning to enjoy it.
Yeah. I said back with China. When I came back, I won my first gold medal. That was the start of my achievement of actually achieving something in life.
Wow.
Yeah.
So your first gold medal and what event was that?
It's like the Oxford Martial Arts British Council. It's like they organise events where you go to like katas. It's like the wushu is not a national sport in China. Yeah. And you do like the basic duans, where you train all the katas, all of the weapons. What the same like the monks are like traditional, the Shining monks, but the wushu is more modern. Wow. Where it can be more extreme. If you watch them on YouTube with the proper wushu athletes.
Wow.
Yeah. So the tricking is more freestyle. You express your body with like twists, capoeira, taekwondo, gymnastics. It's all mixed in one. You can swing on the one leg and you're doing all extreme flips. So that was the second branch I went into.
Wow.
And also on the background of that, I did boxing on and off since I was 16. Yeah. And I kept not doing everything fully, or kept being average at each area, so I stick to something properly.
Yeah.
So I kept going back to one, going back to the one.
Sometimes you have to test, and sometimes it takes a while to find the thing that, right, this is my thing, until you settled on running and marathon running.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So where was your first taste of success with your marathon running?
I say the very first one was Wolverhampton, because my boxing coach did half marathons. So he took me to Wolverhampton, and the first time I struggled. Yeah. It took me about 5 days or 4 days to recover after the event, because I had blisters. And the very first, like what I'm eating now is like second nature. What I did back then was harsh. I was starving for food, and my body wasn't used to it, and I come from nothing straight into that area.
Because of what you do, you have to fully understand what you do as well, don't you? It's not just a case of run. You have to understand what your body is doing and why is it doing it.
Yeah.
And then you have to have an answer.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
You have the expertise to deal with that sort of thing. So wow. So we'll move on to the what inspires. Is there a person that inspired you? Is there a particular person that you always liked?
The great Napoleon Hill is like a great philosopher who wrote the most successful man in a book called Think and Grow Rich.
Yeah.
I have like Bob Proctor. He's like, they all talk about manifesting in different areas, how to connect to the spiritual God, or that sort of area, and how to create your own reality sort of thing from your how to tap into subconscious, how to tap into like your own abilities, mental faculties.
Wow.
So you can use that and use it in your own direction to make you unique instead of be conforming to the rest.
Yeah.
So you got your own way of bringing what you really are, your own expression, like Bruce Lee says.
So you're happy being an individual.
Yeah.
So it's all about being what you want to be and happy being an individual.
Yeah.
Wow.
So carrying it, what your actual purpose, like we've got our own purpose, so just connecting to our real purpose and just doing each one connected with the higher power, God, infinite, whatever you call it.
Yeah.
Yeah, just being one with it and expressing yourself.
Is it?
Yeah.
That's absolutely fascinating. So So now, what's the endurance? What helps you endure? You know, because we all have good days and bad days.
Yeah.
What keeps you? What helps you get through when you come to a dead end, or you come to a thing and you've got a problem? How do you face that in your mind? What do you do?
You have to hit the adversity of it, and you need to. I say some of the things that made me do some of the stuff I'm doing now is going through the DNF. When I got the heartache, you're going through the failure, but failure is actually success. But people don't see that the success, and then they've got like inferiority complex, and they go through that through life. What you need to do is you need to perceive it in a different way. But people are perceiving stuff, but they're looking at it in the wrong way. But the thing that's actually bad for you is actually good for you. And you need to go through that. You want to shy away from comfort and keep it in adversity. Even all the Stoics say it. You need to go through adversity to forge your character. You are going to forge your character through comfort. You need to go through the harshness, and that all alter you. So there's two ways of like altering yourself. It's through a traumatic experience. You can wait for a traumatic experience will alter your mind completely, or a constant spaced repetition. And that'll change you.
And once you understand that is happening to you, and you think, well, this is a bit like in life, you know, it's not what you do, it's how you handle.
How you handle it, yeah.
Things happen in life, and we all have things happen to us in all spectrums of life. But I slightly look at it differently. You're judged by how you deal with it. Some people would deal with the very same situation and make it worse, and you know, but the other people would handle it and then move on.
Yeah.
Wow, that's.
It depends how you with your belief system. It comes from your belief system. What you believe, you'll receive. Also, with two people can believe the same thing, and one's got a negative belief system, and in them constantly the paradigm, like your thought system, where it's them thinking. So two people can think the same thing, but one inch of different belief could make it toxic, or the other can make it
positive.
Positive,
Turn it into a wow.
Yeah. So you change one belief about the way you see that, you've altered the entire thing, the way you view it. It's all in the inside, not the outside. What's good? You got to block out what's going on outside, control your thought pattern.
It's fascinating, you know.
Yeah.
How does a world number one become a world number one? Wow, it's blowing my mind listening to you, you know, speaking. Never even thought of it that way.
Yeah.
So what we're gonna. So to keep not too long, too short, send questions. Send questions to me. We'll deal with that afterwards, but let's continue for a bit. So shall we move down a little bit?
Yeah.
And shall we head down to the middle? Let's do the belly bit.
Yeah, the belly, yeah.
The eating and the nutrition. So is there a certain sort of do's and don'ts that you either you eat or you don't eat or you conform to?
I say the main thing is don't overindulge in stuff. I say try and eat when you've just got an appetite. Say when I don't train, just don't eat to over pleasure. If you control what you're eating, don't eat when just to satisfy you. Control your flesh. Just don't eat for too much, because when you overindulge, it's becoming toxic to your body. Also, when you mess around with your subconscious, when you got pure thoughts, you'll eat more pure. You sort out your thoughts, because it's what separates from the animals. The animals only can blend into the environment where you can think. So whatever you're thinking controls what you eat. It's same with the heartbeat. The subconscious controls the heartbeat, the eating process.
So if I gave you an item, an apple, but there was a really nice apple, but the rest of us poor mortals would say, oh yeah, I'd have another apple, especially me, I'd have 3 apples.
Yeah.
Do you sometimes have to think, I must only eat 1 apple because you're thinking of the greater picture type of thing?
All that, the compound of it, all the food at the time, it will make a bigger benefit. And say, like, if I had an event set, all the self-discipline of eating stuff will compound, and then it'll lead to like you said, to the main goal. It's better. But if you're doing the events like the ultras or the half marathons, you can get away with it. You know, I'd stick to. I run an empty stomach when I'm running halves. So I fast on that and then eat fruit after.
Oh, so you'll fast
before
an event.
Yeah.
You won't sort of fill up and run with a full belly.
Every half marathon I've done an almost empty stomach. So ultras you need to eat, or you'll pass out, or it's too dangerous, so you won't make the event. You can't get to the finish.
Oh, is
it? Yeah, so it's a bit like a lot of them have got eating disorders, the ultra marathon runners, or they've got traumatic backgrounds. So they've got like them always eating, force feeding. Yeah.
Wow. So is the things that you don't like, sugar, don't eat that, like dieting people, oh, don't add that, there's sugar in it, or the salt. Is there a particular item like sugar or salt or that you deliberately keep away from, or do you...
Mainly, the worst thing I've experienced in running is keep away, before a run, just keep away something too heavy in your stomach. That's when I eat fruit and that. It comes straight out, it don't stay in my stomach. Also, like, I've had a curry the day before, I have diarrhea. I've had diarrheas on the runs almost, and I needed the toilet. Anything what's going to upset your stomach, still change what you're eating. If you go to an event and you're used to what you're eating on an ultra, just don't change what you're eating, because you'll start messing around with what your body's adapted to.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, so sometimes you have ate something that, and then it's affected you, but then you've realised what's affected you.
Yeah.
And then you think, I ain't doing that again.
Yeah.
A bit like getting drunk, isn't it?
Yeah.
You get drunk and you think, oh, and you sleep in the gutter, and then you wake up in the morning and you go, I ain't doing that again.
Yeah. I say with shorts and I don't have a healthy diet. I say I do have my sugars, I have my salts a bit. I don't have it too much. I have a lot of cup of tea, a lot of I say with the ultras, you need the salt. You need it. Sometimes on the events and the ultras, they'll mix sugar into the coke. So say if you go through sleep deprivation in the night, you need that extra kick. So for the ultras, you can have anything based to get all the kicks, because you're burning dangerous calories. But in general, you just have more self-control in everything what you're eating.
Is it?
Yeah.
Take it. Wow.
So you can get, it's like for looking at, it's like everything, it's like somewhere you stretch, just get yourself, look after yourself in every single way possible.
Which, everything, which is eating, the mind, the eating.
Yeah.
Isn't that amazing? Wow. You're putting a light on things that we never even thought about.
Yeah.
And the thing is, wouldn't the world be a much better place if, like you say, we didn't overindulge, or we took more care of ourselves than, and the planet is one thing, but we can't control the planet, it's too big, but you can always control yourself, can't you?
Control, yeah. So imagine if not only controlling that, imagine controlling your sexual area, you're controlling what you eat, you control what you think, you're controlling what you're speaking. Because it's all come to connect. You probably added the chakras, where you got the root chakra where you control your sex, the middle chakra where you control your food, the heart chakra what you control and what you're speaking with your heart of hearts.
Wow.
The connects to the subconscious, controlling what you're imagining, envisioning. Yeah, because everything, like, you know, we was on about telly by the media, or the news.
Yeah.
You're controlling it from what's going on, so you ain't got no thoughts of all the crap that's going in your head. All the food.
Because when you're, it's low. Is it quite lonely when you're struggling to run and you're trying to get that last 10 miles or that last 5 miles? What's it like when you're running? You can virtually see the finishing line, whether it be a mile or 2 miles away. What do you think about? What drives you? And your body's hurting, and we spoke about it earlier. You just want to ring a taxi and go home. You say, "Oi, taxi, take me home." What gets you across the line?
I say if I'm doing solos and I've got no one watching me, I'm consciously trying to look at the mileage. But what I do is I try and blankate it. You got to stay in the present moment. The one who can get to the finish more stays in the present moment. Don't think about the past or the future, like all your depression, anxiety. Just cut out everything what's going on around you and just keep focused on what you've planted in your head or the imagination to your picture. Just constantly focus on that. I say when I'm doing solos, I'm constantly looking at my phone on my Strava. I'm trying to, and the miles tick down really more slowly, and I'm going through the cringe or the pain, trying to get to the finish. But if I'm at an event and people are watching in that, I'll I get some music in. And then I put a set of music on, and it switches the vibration of the way you're feeling. And then I suddenly get second wind. It's like, you know,
second wind.
I'm just there. I'm just going for it.
It's funny how the body can get through that and give you and forget about.
And overall the pain as well. Because don't play music. If you're doing an ultra or half marathon, don't play the music too much at the beginning. Just play it towards the end, so you know when to trick the mind and to give it all that sugar rush.
Wow.
In a sort of different way.
Yeah.
I have like different tracks, so I could have like soft music to get in a trance if I don't wanna, if I wanna blank everything out. If I'm doing 100 mile solo, if I'm going all down the roads, I'll just listen to complete trance music. If I'm going harder, I listen to heavy metal, or I listen to a bit of inspiring music like Rocky or similar to Rocky or anything to get the words in my head.
Let me just sort of butt in by saying, you know, when we talk about marathons, ultra marathons, what sort of mileages are you talking about?
Recently at the minute I'm at 26 ultras now after I finished my challenges. So I've been doing back-to-back 31 milers. So I did like 3 back-to-back 3 days and then 4 days. And the maximum I've done is I did a 100 miler into a 50 miler, 100 miler into a 31 miler the day after. So that's what I've adapted from my these.
So you've ran for 100 miles.
Yeah.
And you run for 50 miles. So where on your own, how far can you run? Do you carry a water backpack with you?
It's like an ultra marathon backpack. It's really tight. So you got your water bottles. You can put your food in. Backpack for the second layer.
So if we said to you, right, what's the furthest you can run just on your own, just by putting whatever you can carry with you with your equipment, and you set off?
Yeah, about the maximum I've ever run before is 101 mile, and I did that in about 30 hours.
101 miles.
Yeah.
And just pounding away.
Yeah.
For 30 hours.
Yeah. So imagine I've done that in about 21 hours of moving time.
Yeah.
And I say, because all the breaks in between, you're meeting in between, so I have the breaks, so it adds up to 30. It's all compounds when you have a break here, break there.
And is there rules within the running for an hour, you know, like, do you know in truck driving, you can only drive for 4.5 hours. Is running the same? Is there a certain time and then you have to stop to keep yourself safe?
You can adapt to it. You can. Some people out there can run straight without stopping. But it depends. You can eat as you're moving. That's what I eat. If you rest too much, and then your body starts seizing up. So I'll move as I'm eating, and I try not to stop. I go to a 24-hour petrol station, or I use my hands, or I use the relatives to it. So I go to their house. Yeah. Sometimes I stop in there to have a quick tea drink, get everything restarted. If I'm going to a 24-hour petrol station, I get my electrolytes, I get my chocolates, Yeah, or anything for the night, I'll get all the sugary stuff kicking in.
And you understand what you're buying, which
Yeah.
chocolates to buy, which
Yeah.
biscuits to buy, which, you know. And is it weight versus what you get out of it? Is there certain foods that you wouldn't carry because they're too heavy to carry for the nutrition they give you back?
I'd say anything like, I wouldn't carry anything like noodles. I wouldn't eat noodles completely. I'll cut anything like rice or noodles. I'd have that the day before, because you want to fill yourself completely with that, so you can absorb it in your stomach.
Wow.
That's what we did before the UTS 100 mile, because my mate from that bit flied over, and he made that for us before we had the event.
Wow.
And I'd say on the day, I eat in small portions really, like chocolates.
A little bit often.
Yeah, sandwich here and there. You can eat our foods, but if you stay like in a slow zone run, you can eat anything when you're moving.
Is it?
Yeah, your stomach adapts to actually moving when you're running.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you can start, so after about 30 minutes, you start picking up the pace again, but still moving, running really, really, really slow.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So we've done the top, we've done the middle, let's do the feet.
Yeah.
So, is there a specific, do you soak your feet in like salty water or something like that?
Nothing like that.
Treat it in any way?
The only thing I treat my feet with is stretching mainly. I say you can do that. You can put salty water, that will work. I say I sort my feet out mainly from really deep stretching.
And how do you deal with rubbing sores? Do you get rubbing sores at all?
Yeah.
Or sometimes, how do you deal with having a wet foot and then still having a long way to run? Do you try not to get your feet wet at all?
Get the feet out, and say if you run. The mistake I made was we dry our feet enough. Get your feet out, get your socks off. Train. The second plan I had for the second snow down was take about 5 pairs of socks. On the first one, we day changing for 27 hours on the UTS.
Wow.
And then we had trench foot, and we day changed no pairs of socks, and we had blister on blister. The back of the foot was completely gone.
Yeah.
That had all blisters, and I had all trench foot. It was stinging that bad. So the second plan we had to overcome that was to get Vaseline, get talcum powder, dry the feet out for about 5 minutes at each aid station.
Yeah.
And keep changing the socks. Wow. Yeah. And also doing a bit of stretching here and there, stretching your ankles out. I say.
Well, socks, being an ex-squaddy, and I'd never use any other sock. Debbie said, in this hot weather, I've still been using these socks, these double-soled socks. Do you know about these?
No, I don't know.
What the squaddies use.
Yeah.
I'll show you in a minute.
Yeah.
But I used them, and that's come from Squaddy World.
Yeah.
So I might have something to show you.
Yeah.
And is there a particular material that you put on your feet? Socks made of a certain material?
I stick to the main problem I had with socks is like the ones that come down. So sometimes you can get like proper running socks where you get to the running shops.
Yeah.
They'll probably stick to the back. But if you wear something that keeps slide, the proper issue you have is the sliding down the back. And that's what gives you the blister. So if you're wearing like socks, but sometimes you can get socks what all just even the same size as these, they'll proper fit. Sometimes you can get the toe socks, where they fit on each toe.
Oh, I've seen those.
Yeah, so they stop the blisters a bit.
It's almost like it looks like a barefoot.
Yeah, barefoot.
Have you ever tried those?
Yeah, I've got a pair. Yeah, they're like gloves. Yeah.
And do you like them for running?
Yeah, I use them. Yeah, I do use them.
And is there a particular do you stick to a certain brand or a make of shoe or?
I'll stick to cheap socks. It's mainly the footwear what's more important than the socks. So it's just mainly if you can get any sort of sock like this. I wear this if I'm doing ultras. As long as say if you got anything I got, see like these, it's got a bit more cushion there.
Yeah.
But what you're wearing is bare in a different way. Yeah. You got more comfort here and
underneath, yeah.
But so with these, I've got like more comfort there, and this is more protecting me a tiny bit. I stick to cheap brands really.
And same as your shoes, is there a particular thing that you look for within a shoe when you go to a trainer shop?
Yeah. There's two sorts of running shoes. This one's a trail shoe, so you got the spikes for the mountains. So if you're doing mountain events, you wear these using hiking sticks, because with these little spikes, so absorb the bricks.
You stop you from slipping and sliding, and give you a bit more grip.
Yeah, and you got the sides as well. So if I'm wearing a normal pair of them, my feet will be destroyed. If I wear like a normal flats, if you wear the flats are made for road, these are made for the trials, yeah.
Wow.
And I say white toe box is also a good brand if you've got bunions or anything.
Oh, what would you say?
Well, white toe box shoes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So if you like, my other shoes have affected my feet in the past because they've been that
Because you've been
narrow.
you've been through an awful lot of shoes.
Yeah.
How long does a pair of trainers last you usually?
I say about 5 months.
But and events, will you wreck a pair in an event, or will they last a few events?
These have lasted me all the events. These have.
They?
Yeah, so you can see there. I've got the cuts on them and that. My other shoes have got big holes at the sides. My running shoes.
Wow.
So I run until there's nothing there, and all my soles are gone. Sometimes I like to do that because like you're feeling the ground more, and it's like our ancestors. Where it's like you're just running with the comfort of the sole.
Wow.
You condition the feet. It's the same as when it's to the flips. Like I used to flipping bare feet on the grass.
Yeah.
And at first it used to sting the feet, and then in time my feet was that conditioned that it don't affect my feet anymore. So it's like your body adapts to like that sort of way.
Oh, does it?
Yeah. I even seen a chap doing it in bare feet and snowed-down. I was like, how he's managed that.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
Wow. Ed, you've given us a complete insight into these sort of things. What it sort of takes to become a double world record holder.
Yeah.
So, would you like to tell us a little bit about the first record and the second record?
The first one was done in 2022 to 2023. So when I started taking running seriously, it was in lockdown, and that's when I injured myself. I was getting ready for fights before lockdown. My coach from Dudley, Sean Williams, and then I popped my hernia out, and then that's when I started taking on this. I couldn't do anything else. It was stinging, and then I was thinking, shall I have operation now or shall I wait? So I had to wait about another 2 years for this to get worse. So then, a year before that, I started cycling everywhere, and I built up to Aberystwyth to Skegness cycle, 255 miles. So I started from Skegness Beach and finished at Aberystwyth, and then that took me about a complete year to come back and do. I failed the first time because I tried to come from Aberystwyth, and I kept getting back to Molineaux, and then I kept talking myself out, and then suddenly the second time, I say about another half a year later, I forced myself to Skegness, and then I just did it. I got to Molineaux, forced myself back out, and I got to Aberystwyth.
Wow.
Yeah, and the last bit was all rain and wind and...
Well, because the weather is a huge distraction or a problem when you come across it.
Yeah, and I still have my own, yeah. So that was there still. So I was just doing endurance more, and I was doing nothing explosive. Every time I kept doing something explosive on my flips, this was tearing. And it was making it worse, and sometimes I feel like when it pops out, I kept pushing it back in part in the intestine, and sometimes I felt like I needed an ambulance sometimes because when you got so much food it pops it out.
Wow.
Yeah, and the max I've done on a cycle before I started this was 300 mile, so I did a 300 mile, I think that took me about 32 hours, 300 mile on a cycle. Yeah.
I couldn't even do that on a motorcycle.
Yeah.
So then this recent one.
Yeah.
Tell us all about this recent one now then.
Yeah. The first one before that, so I did the entire challenge with the hernia. So after the cycle, I got that done, and then the first ultra, the Telford one, and then I had operation, and then after operation, after I finished that, I decided to have operation right after because then I had a 1 year waiting list to go into the Manor Hospital. Yeah. Then I did it. Then I came back to did the Bannister series with Roger Bannister's track.
Wow.
And then I had 6 months of preparation, and I smashed 90 miles for my first big ultra over at 24-hour event. And then I said another year later, I had to get my body a bit more right to get everything proper back to my volume. And then that's when I come back and did the 4:65 half marathon world record. Wow. Yeah. And that's when I did all the GB ultras in between and the 100 milers. And I even DNF the 100 milers and the 50 milers. So
whilst you were in creating or achieving that record, you were still doing ultras and in between times.
Yeah. So there is one scene, so this could have been added on top, but I completed Manchester to Liverpool, Chester 50, or the Sandstall Trail, Wales to Bournemouth and back in Snowdonia. The 200 miles was the most brutal and most...
Was it?
The best, yeah, because I DNF'd it and I took myself to breaking point.
200? So
the 100 mile events.
Wow.
Yeah.
And then you... So you have actually run, you hear the saying, run yourself to death. Yeah. You have actually run yourself till you can run no more.
Yeah.
Wow.
Even though I had trench foot that day from the one, I came back I had one rest day, came back the day after from UTS, and we went again. So we got back into half marathon streak. After even if I've completed the 50 milers, I got right back to it. I felt like crap, I felt like shit.
Yeah.
From the 100 milers because I was that defeated.
Wow.
But what I did was bounce back from the failure right away and come back. The dose weight.
And we took a picture of a few of the books.
Yeah.
So a part of sorting your head around those sort of things, you're inspired by the books.
Yeah, the books. Yeah.
You pick up the books and
yeah.
Tell me about what's your...
So I met this chap on Instagram and he's top level called Ashwin, and he came on the BBC with me the first time, and he's like, you probably heard of Bob Proctor. He speaks about manifesting and all this stuff, and he dives back, and I kept watching him and then I thought, what books is he reading? So I started to dive back a bit deep and I started to look at some of the books from the 1900s. So you got like books like Psycho-Cybernetics, and that comes back from like a plastic surgeon. And he discovered that you got an inner image and outer image, and it's sort of like you can mess around with like your subconscious area, and you've got like horror abilities, like your psychic areas where you can develop, but many people don't know about that. So even a plastic surgeon discovered that. So I like to tap into different areas and put it into what I'm doing. Yeah. Then you got like Napoleon Hill. He's written Think and Grow Rich, so he wrote one of the most famous books where he discovered 500 of the most successful men, and he written it all in one book. And this came before Think and Grow Rich, Laws of Success. So it tells you it's like 13 principles how to succeed in Think and Grow Rich.
Wow.
And it's all the 500 men most successful men, it's their ideas.
Yeah.
And he took it and wrote it all in a book, and you can put it into practice in like their philosophy.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And you can tap in the mind of why Thomas Edison thinks of them making the inventions, or Henry Ford, how he made the automobiles. Even the Wright brothers in a similar way, or Nikola Tesla, in all them are them doing stuff.
Yeah.
But what I do it to my own. But to read it, it's how about reading the book once. You got to keep doing it over and over and over. Like read each page 30 times in a row until it embeds itself as a new blueprint.
Wow.
So it becomes a part of your makeup. So that's a different way you can read books.
Oh, so read and then read it again and again and again and again.
Yeah, until you believe it. So whatever the mind can conceive and believe,
yeah,
you can achieve. So you got to conceive the idea, deceive the subconscious, and then you'll like believe it. And that's how you can get to somewhere faster with the desire. That's how you build desire.
Wow.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Wow. And then the other one was...
these are just extra. I got a lot more books, but this one's just like a different one. You know, this one's Norman Vincent. It's like the same as like the power of the positive thinking. So if you think about it, you become what you think about. So you say that funny. The only thing I can relate, and I know it's not relating to running, but when you're riding a bike, if you're in trouble, you come steaming into a corner, you go, oh damn. If there's a tree in front of you, if you look at that tree, you will crash into the tree. Yeah. You have to physically think to yourself, right, don't look at the tree, look at where the road goes, look at the road. And if you look at the road, you will get round that bend and you will go round that corner. But if you sort of scare yourself and look at the danger point, you'll end up hitting it. And there's not many times, but sometimes you do come steaming into a bend and you think, oh dear, there's a bit much. I shouldn't have really done that. And then you have to think, right, okay, look at the road, look at the road, look at the road, look at the road. And you do get, because if you look at the tree, that's where you'll end up. Yeah. Wow, yes. That's like same sort of way, yeah. That's the only that I can relate to, you know,
you know, somebody says something and it gets to you.
Yeah.
It's absolutely amazing.
This is different. I can explain the mind a bit way as well. Is that imagine an octopus. Humans have not many. 97% of humans go through death without realising they've got a sixth sense. So that's what that did obviously develop. Napoleon Hill. It comes from Andrew Carnegie. Napoleon Hill, the richest billionaire back in the 1800s, and he gave Napoleon the philosophy to write the book. And he interviewed him. And he said, "I'm going to give you all my philosophy." And he's like a billionaire back in the steel industry, and he understood all the stuff back then. So imagine if he was a billionaire back then, yeah, he was crazy what he was doing. The ideas he was coming up with, and it's just crazy what you know about. Wow. You could dive more deeper. You can get book from speakers from YouTube and that, but what all the speakers are doing is they're going to the books. They'll listen to the speakers, dive back, and go through all the books that you can pick up there. You see where they're getting the information from. Wow. They'll show this in the newspapers, they'll show none of this on the TV. Yeah. So that all this stuff on the TV goes against what they don't want you to have the real information, they want you to have like, you know, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
You could read, so you're reading about decades of knowledge in about 2 weeks. Yeah. So that's basically what you're doing. It's taking someone's lifetime when you're reading it in about 2 or 3 weeks if you put the time in.
Wow.
Yeah, and if you want to make it even more, like I said, repeat each chapter for 30 days.
Yeah.
If you want to sound like anything with principles in it, or anything like quotes, just keep repeating. Affirmation, it's auto-suggestion, where you auto-suggestion it to yourself enough times. Like Mama Daddy says, I am the greatest, I am this, I am that. And then so sort of write like your words as well.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, you are right, you know, you are right. Yeah, what you're saying sort of, yeah, you are, you know what I mean. Now and again it relates in one of my favourite sayings is, today is the first day of the rest of your life. I sort of live by that. There's nothing you can do about yesterday. History is history, that's gone and finished. Okay, you might have done stuff you shouldn't ought to, or you thought about, I handled that wrong.
Yeah.
But there's nothing you can do about what you've done or said. Today, right now, is the first day of the rest of you and I's life, and then we move that onwards with it. Wow, that's Edward, absolutely fascinating, and I'd love to come back again. I'm sure our viewers will be watching and comments and sending in, you know, and if you can help, Ed, in any way, if you know anybody that, you know, likes to supply trainers, you know, and all that sort of a thing. Once it goes through, obviously, your approval, you will only do something that you think that is correct, and you know, you do your own research in it, so that if you're happy to have it, everybody, you know, if a world record holder, and is there any threats to your record? Do you know of anybody that's trying to beat that?
People are saying...
I'm sorry about that, Ed.
No,
we were disturbed. Disturbed by your dad saying, have you been? Have you seen?
yeah.
Wow, what a, you know, fantastic.
I'll give you one more thing with everybody else. Just lift off your limited beliefs, because we've all got limited beliefs from heredity. We've got from family beliefs, we've got from school beliefs. We follow the leader in school, and school don't teach you the right way to succeed. So you got to stop conforming to the pattern of the world and be unique. You got to break for the conformity, and you got to develop your own beliefs. Just deep dive into knowledge. School don't end. School ends. Everyone starts ending their education after 16, and they stay without no extra knowledge. Just to seek more knowledge and open your imagination on top, and just have anything you really want.
Be yourself.
Yeah, be yourself. Be your real self from it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Thank you very much, Ed. Thank you, Edward. Thank you very much. You're the only You're the only first #1 person, world #1 in anything that we know, and we've got a little insight of what it takes to be the best of the best of the best, Top Gun.
There is more, but this is like the basics.
Just the beginning of it.
Yeah.
So you would you like to be a personal trainer and impart this knowledge or help people along?
I'm a JD gym at West Brom now, so I'm a personal trainer there. So I work at the gym and I PT there as well on the week or any time.
Yeah.
So I'm called Peak Mind Endurance is my PT business name. And so I'm helping people now. I'm getting people in shape.
Yeah.
And I'm giving my knowledge to them what they could take them years. I can help them faster to give them the direction they wanted to get into.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, fantastic.
And if I'm not there, I'll make sure they get to that goal faster.
To that goal faster.
Yeah.
Amazing.
That's what we am. That's where that comes from. Goal mechanism.
Yeah.
People. So that it's like I'm
following it.
Yeah. So it's like we've got the inner image is what we am. So imagine the plastic surgeon was altering people's faces, and they'll go back to their old character. So they'll alter it and they'll change the personality a bit. But what he teaches you is how to dive in deep and how to alter your inner image permanently.
Wow.
So if you try and alter like your scar on your face, all plastic people have plastic surgery.
Yeah.
You can't really alter yourself in time because you go back to your old ways. But what he teaches you is how to dive in deep and actually alter yourself.
Wow.
Spiritually, mentally, emotionally, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Thank you very much, Edward. Thank you very much, Edward. Absolutely fantastic. So this is Edward's Instagram page, Peak Mind Endurance. Remember the underscore. Wow. Fantastic. So, Ed's had a few articles in the paper. If you read the Express and Star online, check out Ed's article in the Express and Star. And here's the other article.
25.
You just put Ed and Ultra Daily Express. Look, and this is yeah. There's another article in the paper. You'll find that online. So in the Mirror, there's an article down here. Look. Yeah. Edward Molineaux, ultra running. Now, Ed, we've heard the story. You've told to give us a little bit of an insight. Now we can have a closer look. How they met. What was this one, Ed?
Chester 50. Ran the Sandstar Trail and back round to Chester.
Wow.
Esmere Port finish line where the track was. So you start at Esmere Port and come back to Esmere Port. Or for the Sandstorm. There's a bit more incline around the Sandstorm Trail. It's all mud. So that was completely crossing mud and crop fields. It was horrible.
Was it?
Yeah.
And then this one.
That was beautiful, all flat. In Manchester to Liverpool.
All tarmac.
Yeah.
Yeah, because of course running in off-road and mountains is different to running on road. Get your feet, pounding your feet on the road.
Yeah.
So this was literally all tarmac.
Yeah, tarmac, yeah.
And concrete. Wow. And then this one. What was this one?
That one's to Barmouth and back. So that one's Wales 50. So that was a bit of Snowdonia and a mixture of flat and forests and I don't know, it was like a little...
And did it take in Snowdonia? Did you run over Snowdonia on your way?
Yeah. I said we covered it was about 50, half Snowdonia and half flat.
That was some elevation though, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That's a lot of running uphill. That is. Snowdonia is the biggest mountain in Wales, so that was a lot of uphills.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's as painful running downhill as what it is uphill.
Yeah, that's it.
And then this one
is the 2000 race across Africa. So I come first place in this. So I finished 590 miles lead, and that was combined with my 465 half marathons.
Wow.
So that's up the volume. So that's why I did 6 half marathons in one day, and I did 3 back to back.
Six half marathons in a day.
Yeah.
So that's actually 3 full marathons then.
Yeah.
Is it?
So it is. Yeah.
Wow.
So I was doing 3 half marathons on Monday, 2 half marathons Tuesday, back to 3 half marathons Wednesday, and I was up in the volume to get to 465.
Wow.
So they fought round on it. And that was the first place I made with a GBR track.
Wow, that's some doing. And this is another one you're...
Yeah, the Bannister Series 24 hour.
That's running?
Yeah.
For 20, I can't even imagine it.
Yeah. You get the aid station every 400 metres, so that's the only bad thing about it. You can stop there any time you like.
Oh, was this round 24 hours round the
Yeah,
track?
yeah.
And we're going to get together, aren't we? I'm
Yeah.
going to come to an event with you and film you one of these
Yeah,
tracks.
definitely, yeah.
Yeah. So we've got that to look forward to. And this one.
That was the Arnold Festival, so that's when I was doing more flips then. So that was more like connected to. I met David Goggins, one of my other inspirations. He's another Navy SEAL and ultra runner. So I met him.
David Goggins.
Yeah.
Wow.
He's like first Navy SEAL to pass the I think it's the Navy SEALs. He was the first black man to get into doing that. And
was he?
He ran Badwater. He ran 250-mile ultras in America. Yeah.
Wow. So he's you met. Wow. And then that one.
That one's when I was doing the cycling more. Do you know when I was mentioning about the cycling?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, no, I was going up to like 300 mile and 255 milers.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was connected to one of them.
300k. Wow. You know.
Spartan Challenge.
Oh, and then this one was which way round?
That one's back 2015. I think that was in between. That was in halfway from my running journey life. That is 2000. I say about 2008 when I started like doing the half marathon medal. So that's in between. That one is.
Wow.
Yeah.
And then we've got another here, which is
the Black Country Half Marathon. So that one's all canal.
Oh, right, canal.
From Wolverhampton to Birmingham. That was the most recent one. I did that one over 30 minutes, so that one was more of a pace.
Was it?
Yeah. So that one quite fast. That was about a month back. That was. Yeah. So that was the most recent event.
Oh, yeah, the most recent event on the canal towpaths. Yeah. And then this one
in Birmingham Town Centre, going round near. I don't know the names of the areas much.
But in around Big Berth and Jewellery Court.
Jewellery Court, yeah.
That sort of a thing, yeah.
So, same medal, a bit more a few years back. It's 2017, so that was a few years back. So if you look on there, this was my very fastest time, yeah.
So you get an added.
So that's 1 hour 26. So I was running at about 6 minute mile pace. That's the very fastest half marathon I've done to date.
So you get a personal best when
personal
you.
Best, yeah. You can buy them at the event. So if you want to buy one of them.
Wow, amazing. And then we've got this one, which is
Sutton Caulfield Park. So I would run Solihull. That's I had to cycle there from Manans on Rugeley morning from Rugeley.
So cycle, run a marathon, and then
Sunday morning, so I couldn't get there. So I had to cycle to Birmingham from Rugeley.
Each medal you deserve is a story to it.
Yeah.
You know.
That one's Sutton Park, the mile run. Yeah, that one's in some. I did one of them drunk as well. I had diarrhea. I forgot which one it was. I think it was that one.
Yeah.
I did that one. I had diarrhea. I went to the night out and I couldn't throw up anymore. And I was hungover on the bed and then got back to that mile run. Yeah.
Great. Yeah. Oh, and this one.
Same one. So same one but different brand. So that done two from Sutton Park.
Wow.
I think that one's I think that was the recent one. So I got that one mixed up. So that the one by before.
Yeah.
I think it was the Birmingham one was an older version.
One there, is that? No.
Quite a lot. I think it's this one.
Yeah, 2023.
That was what I did when I come out of operation. That's what I did before the Balancing series. So my back was messed up, so I had to run on a limp. I was limping all this one, so I had to run it really because all my body was. I was at the first half. I come back after.
Wow.
And then I was like running on. I messed up.
And that was your
my disc, the disc area. So that was the most recent Birmingham half.
Was that really painful? Really?
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
That you have to drive through.
Yeah.
And then that one.
The same one again. The Canal Run, Black Country Half Marathon, Wolverhampton to Birmingham.
Wow. And then, whoops.
Wolverhampton from West Park, lapping there twice. 2015.
2000, wow. Yeah, so it takes some doing.
That was my very first. I think that's one of my very first Wolverhampton half marathon. Was I mentioning on the video?
2008, yeah.
When the first part of when we was talking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, amazing.
That was. I had blood blisters on this one.
Oh.
This was the worst. This was. I think this was one of my. I was wearing pumps. And I experienced blood. I don't wearing the right footwear. That's why I learned about footwear. I was wearing them going out pumps. And I had to walk the last 3 miles to that. It was at Iron Bridge. It's the first time I experienced how hard it was. Yeah.
Because every time you do it, you learn, don't you? And you move forward.
Yeah, same one again, Birmingham finish in 2014, so that's when I was younger.
Like you say, failure isn't failure, failure is success.
Yeah, it is, yeah.
It's moving.
Same side of the coin, but you need the failure as much as the success to be, and the pressure.
Wow.
Yeah.
This one?
Exactly the same. I don't know how many times I've done that quite a few times. Yeah.
Well, because they're local, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This one, which one's this one? Looks like... Carvers. Looks like Wolverhampton, that is. Yeah, I think that's Wolverhampton again.
Yeah.
Carvers, well, it looks like Wolverhampton.
Oh yeah, Carvers, the builders merchant. Sponsored that.
That was a beautiful Litchfield.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Litchfield. So you start off at primary school and you end by Litchfield Cathedral in her park.
Because I suppose you do see a lot. It's you get to smell and breathe and run past lots of interesting places.
Yeah. That one's that was a horrible one. My nan took me to that one in the morning, so I started to start her house. It was absolutely tipping it down. It's the first time I experienced all the chase in wetness and not really. It was like constantly
heavy and ruts.
Yeah,
the chase. Yeah, wow. Yeah, because different conditions, right? It's not all perfect conditions, is it?
You have to go for everything. Yeah.
Wow.
Wolverhampton 2022. That was when I did 7 of these medals with the 282. So I had 7 and
to get this record.
Yeah. So there's 7 of the medals in there connected with that.
And then this one, whoops.
And that was the one 2 weeks before operation. The Thomas, not the Railway Ultra in Telford near Iron Bridge. Wow. So it's like him running 5 miles back and forth to eat 8. It's all flat.
Was it?
They're doing a little trail. Yeah.
So to get the distance, sometimes you run around on a track. Sometimes you run to the same place backwards forwards. To get that mileage, that distance. Wow. So let's have a closer look. Look at this. Absolutely fantastic. Edward Molineaux. Wow. Look at this. So that's the first one. And then you've beat that record now.
Yeah.
And this is the one. Are you planning on any more? What are you thinking about? Are you thinking about any other ones?
I've set my sights on just doing as many ultras as I possibly can at the minute. I really setting anything up at the minute, but I will plan to. When the idea comes to me, I will go through.
Yeah.
I say how many ultras I can do this year, and if I got the idea, I could probably break something if no one breaks it.
Yeah.
I think a mile version is 720 ultras in a year, but if I can get past that, I could probably set that as a new record in the mile version.
Wow.
Yeah.
Absolutely fantastic.
There's always people out there trying to be what you do, so
always, yeah. But you're way ahead on this one. What's your nearest competition on this one?
So someone did get to 365 days, so most people only run one a day half marathon through to get to 365. So I came back and then that's why I took it to 4 extra 100 on top. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So people will come back, people will do watch and they'll
One a day would kill me, but imagine having to do in 1 year.
So 14 ultras in between 465 half marathons I did. Yeah, so that was about 5 events and 8 solos. Yeah, to 14. Yeah,
incredible.
Yeah, and all of them was unseen.
Absolutely incredible. So that's one of your heroes, David Goggins.
Yeah.
Wow, and you put in YouTube, David Goggins. Wow, amazing. It's great when you meet somebody, don't you?
Yeah, I should be as well.
Here's some more books that Edward reads. So you would have read these over to get them into your psyche.
Yeah.
You would have read these books over and over and over, or David Goggins' book.
Yeah. So there's I had a picture of him, and I've gone through his life story, so I know his background, and he's an ultra runner as well, and Navy SEAL. So he's really extreme. He ran bad water, 135 miles. If you look at him on YouTube or some of his videos, people might probably know who he is, but he's great in his own way. He's one of the best.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's great. You need a hero. You need somebody to follow. You need somebody to be. I would like to be. You've still got to be yourself.
Yeah.
But it's great to be inspired by people. Yeah. David Goggins.
So,
yeah, the T-shirt from the Snowdonia run. And that's uphill, isn't it? Yeah.
One of the hardest UTMB 100 miles in the UK. One of the most brutal.
Wow.
And cut off some absolutely brutal.
And turn it around again, yeah, look. Wow.
UTS, UTMB.
What does UTS stand for?
Ultra Trail Snowdonia.
Oh, Ultra Trail Snowdonia.
So it's one of the World Series events, yeah. So it's one of the hardest there to all the other ones. They've got Mont Blanc. You got one in America, the more connected. So this one in UK and the hardest.
That's the UK version.
So you're running up mountain and bogs all mixed into one for about 48 hour cut off, and we made it to 66 miles.
Mad, isn't it? Wow. That's a slightly different battery, isn't it? Real long. These last a long time.
Yeah,
not like the torches that you see in the garages.
Yeah.
Professional, proper torches. Wow, proper head torches.
They're being pitch black in Snowdonia, so them really what we improve and waterproof.
Waterproof. And you say really good bright light.
Yeah, bright light.
When you're in the middle of nowhere in Snowdonia.
Yeah. You carry two. You have to have a mandatory kit, so you have to have two. So if one goes out, you got the other one for backup.
You've always got the other.
You've got like a portable USB charger to connect in, and also carry a spare set of batteries just in case.
So there are a set of rules. You have to do certain things or have certain. So you have to, part of your kit is you have to carry two of these. And again, this pack here is part of your kit that you run with. Hold on a minute. Let's just put that down. Right. And then you put your water bottles in there.
There,
and there. You're not mad keen on a bladder?
Yeah, I'll take the bladder out. So just take the bladder and stick to the water bottle. We've got water bottles where you can put
on
in
a
your
tube.
mouth.
Yeah.
That you squirt in. So you can fill them fast at the aid station. And sometimes you've got pockets here. But they've got no pockets on these ones. On the other, you can see there.
Oh yeah.
You've got pockets there. You put your chocolate or whatever bits and pieces.
And you've got you can reach behind, can't you, into these, and you've got little pockets there.
You can put what we do on the if you're in Snowdonia or doing the ultras, you can put your cups or your spoons or knives and forks or anything quick release. So you're grabbing it fast or banana. Say if I'm on a solo, I'll stick bananas or anything in there.
Oh dear.
Or anything, the fruit there, chocolate there. You can also, you've got extra pockets where you can stick electrolytes, tablets or something.
Yeah.
And you got to keep your bike layer in the middle, one bike layer in the events.
Is it?
Yeah.
Amazing. Gear special, ever so thin, is that what it's all about?
Yeah, thinness. And
this is waterproof. So this is waterproof as well?
Yeah, it helps you survive up the mountains and that. Yeah, made for auto running.
Wow.
Does
it keep and there's no weight at all in it?
There's no weight.
Really?
Tall seams in this one as well. So this is part of the mandatory kit if you're doing any ultra marathons.
Oh, so if you have to have certain...
for life and death situation.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
And this is enough to keep... Because it's the wind that killed you, isn't it?
Yeah, the wind, yeah.
So this would keep the... And how does it deal with the sweat then, because you're going to be really hot and sweaty?
It's sweat proof as well. It
has a lining, doesn't it? It's
got some material to it, like, it gets rid of the sweat, so you don't sweat too much and it dries so fast.
And is that your favourite brand?
Yeah, Innovate, yeah.
Innovate.
And I got a Montaigne spine waterproof trousers, but them somewhere upstairs.
Wow.
Yeah.
And does this, it has a hood on as well, yeah?
Yeah.
It has a hood.
It's just so packed up.
Was it?
Yeah.
And that's the sort of,
Yeah.
Your socks, is that sock?
That's a first aid. So if I broke my leg on the mountain or something, you got to carry all the first aid. A bit of first aid.
Yeah.
A whistle.
A whistle to find
a
you.
cup for drinking.
Wow.
A knife, a compass. Yeah, so it's like quite dangerous on the mountains. You have to carry all this mandatory kit to actually get into the event. Yeah.
It's like going through scrutineering first. They check you first.
Yeah. If you don't show the items while you do the event,
Well,
so you got to have everything carried on you.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's.
Oh.
Yeah, that's a bivvy bag. That's like instead of wearing tin foil, you got to carry a bivvy bag. So if you're stuck in the mountains or you got a broken leg, you got to carry this. For the 100 mile events or the 50.
And that will go all over your body. That's a sleeping bag.
Yeah.
That's basically a distance runner's.
Yeah, like a little bag.
Yeah.
Stop. Keep put it back in.
Keep it. Yeah. Wow. Important to carry with you.
100 miler. Yeah.
So that if you have to, because you wear trackers, you are tracked.
Yeah, we got we get the trackers attached to our bag.
Yeah.
So they can see you got emergency.
Oh, and you can press for emergency.
And so this will save your life. So keep your body warm
until they can get to you.
Until they get towards you.
Wow.
Yeah, but that's a last minute decision. Those.
You'll deal with any injuries or blister. If a blister begins to develop, you'll just try and patch it and keep going.
Yeah, if you can't sort out at the aid station, sort your feet out. So we carry these for first aid as well.
Wow.
Anything like bandages, plasters.
Because do you pick up stones? Do you sometimes get a stone find its way into your shoe?
Yeah.
About as soon as you've detected a little bit of stone.
Yeah, don't mess about it, get right out because that'll cause issues later on. Could turn into a blister, it could make really bad issues with your feet.
Wow.
Yeah.
So deal with them straight away.
Yeah, straight away.
As soon as you can feel them.
Even if your sock goes down a bit, deal with it because that'll play later on in the race.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Wow.
Really fascinating.
So this is Wushu. And this was the beginning, the first taste of, oh, do you know what? I can do this and I can win. And it's a great feeling, isn't it?
Yeah.
Being it's sort of, I can do better, I can get better. So that was the beginning journey. Wow. In the Express and Star 2009. Wow. Amazing. That's 90 miles, right?
Yeah.
We'll get into that. Hold on, wow. Yeah, because you got to keep momentums and, you know. Is there like a... So this is part of what it takes to become or get to the point of, you know, one step forward or two steps forward, one step back type of thing. Wow. Edward, that's one hell of an achievement. One hell of an achievement.